Hey guys, and welcome to the Grow Podcast. We are so happy that you are here. I'm Ashley, your host to the monthly grain segment of the podcast, brought to you by the Landus GROW Solutions Center. Today, we are going to be talking about the Landus GROW Solutions Center. Here at Landus, we are kind of moving into the second year of the GROW Solutions Center, and we've really come a long ways from the first day that we announced this virtual center to help our customers. So I'm really excited. With me today, I have Janette Smith, who is the GROW Grain Lead and really oversees the GROW Grain Solutions Center team. So Janette, go ahead and tell everyone about yourself. You've obviously been on the podcast before. You've been around the block, but definitely make sure people know who you are and just tell us what you do with your team.
Okay, so Janette Smith, been with Landus/West Central since 1990, so I'm the oldest one. So been here a while, old school. So what we do is we have a virtual grain team, and we originate grain. We help farmers with marketing plans. We talk about one-on-one special, like if they need a sit-down marketing plan or if they just need an overview of what's going on. So 12 people. Some of them work from Illinois. Most of them work from here in Iowa, but you work from home and help farmers just find the best solutions for the best prices for their grain.
Yeah. All right. And then I also have Jamie Orr joining me today, who's the GROW Agronomy Lead. So Jamie, as your title, just like Janette kind of explains, right? You oversee the Agronomy GROW Solutions Center team, but make sure you tell us about yourself and then kind of what your team looks like and what you do with them.
Sure. Thanks. Happy to be here. Jamie Orr, I lead the GROW Agronomy team and also the strategic account team as well, which is the strategic account team is tasked with selling outside of the current Landus footprint, focusing on the farmer of tomorrow, as Matt always talks about, and that's definitely leading the sales in that charge. And then the GROW Solutions Agronomy Center we handle anything from inbound calls, requesting information on their invoices, products that they've sold. We make outbound calls regarding marketing tactics that we have coming on, just anything and all questions coming in agronomy based.
Cool. All right. So I think, when we first announced this GROW Solutions Center, right, like there was a ton of questions. We definitely, I feel like, caused some hubbub in this world of the co-op and what we were trying to do. And, I think probably even some discouraging comments about how could a virtual team do something like y'all are doing. So I'd love to know, how do you work really hand in hand with our field team to go ahead and really serve our customers to the best of your abilities?
Well, the farmer of today and the farmer of yesterday is not 8 to 5, right?
Yeah.
They start their mornings early and they finish their nights late. They work weekends. So the virtual team helps them be better, right? We're here to answer their questions. We're here to help solve their problems, because if they have a question at 9 o'clock at night, they're going to call somebody and get an answer. They don't have to wait till tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's opened the door. And then there's also constant communication back and forth. So we're telling, the locations and the field staff, this is what we're hearing. This is who we've talked to. You might need to follow up on this. So that's what it is. It's just being there when the farmer needs you the most.
Yeah.
Because it's not 8 to 5.
For sure. I mean, I think about, right, like we just left planting season. A lot of my customers, plant for the most part during the day. And then at night, they're trying to do their book work or trying to get contracts signed. And, how many times do I have text messages at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock that are like, what was that contract for again? So I think that's a great way to explain.
Just like last weekend, it was a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
And so we told everybody going into the 3-day weekend, it's a weather market. So if it rains, Monday night, Tuesday morning, you could come in and the markets are going to be down.
Yeah.
So we had farmers still checking in over the weekend. It's like, what are you guys hearing? Are you seeing opening calls? And Monday you got a lot more calls because it's like, what are the opening calls?
Yeah.
And then
Tuesday was down.
Right. So it's just also making sure the message is getting out. We're here to help you. It's not 24 hours a day because we do need a little sleep, but we're here, messages will get back to you before the locations are open or after they're closed. So that's what we're here to do. So.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. And Jamie, anything you'd add there?
No, I agree. We're here, especially in planting season. We're a lot longer than 8 to 5, and we're here for any questions they may have regarding product usage, anything like that that's out there from an agronomy basis. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, Janette, tell us about, the journey that this GROW Solutions Center has been on lately, and maybe some specific things that your team has been working on.
So the Grow Grain started out with one person, and then it went to 2, and then we've increased. Now we're at 11, so soon to have 12. So the best thing about this is just seeing the team grow, finding people from outside the local area that's coming in from other parts of the industry that are seeing what Landus is doing and wanting to come back to rural and help farmers be better at marketing.
Yeah.
So that's what's nice is you're having people from, Cargill and CGB. You're having people that have worked for bigger industries come back and they want to work rural again.
Yeah.
So that's what's nice is seeing people get back to their roots and just wanting to help the farmers be better.
Well, and
So
I think
that's a huge change.
No matter where they live, right? Like, I mean, I'm privileged to my husband and I obviously farm. And so like I get to live on the farm. And so, I think no matter if you live in the metro here, if you live in Illinois, you can still be a part of this team, which is really cool. We just obviously want you to be really good at working with our customers.
Right. And that's it. It's just getting in touch with the farmers. I mean, we were told for years that we haven't heard from anybody at Landus. So, our goals have been we're going to contact everybody, whether it's through a text, email, phone call. We're going to contact all of our customers and just remind them we're here.
Yeah.
So that's what's changed a lot is we're in touch with our farmers.
Yeah.
So, which we needed to be.
Yeah. So Jamie, I mean, tell us a little bit, what's your team been up to?
Sure. So, they've been involved a lot in getting in farmers into our connector events that we host here. Outbound Calls is Janette's team as well. Some of the big call lists that they've been working on is any agronomy or grain customer that does not do agronomy business. We're making outbound calls, checking in, making sure everything is okay. If they need any agronomy products, anything like that. So we're working through that call list. We have some more specific targeted marketing approaches that we're going to take regarding fungicides, some outbound calls based on fungicide use as we approach that July timeframe with fungicide being applied. So those are things that we've been working on. They've also been a part of helping launch of the Growers app within the Growers retail network that we're a part of. So that's a project we've been working on as well that we just launched within the last couple of weeks.
Very cool. Well, Jamie, I want you to tell us a little bit more about your role with the strategic accounts. As you mentioned, we hear Matt talk a lot about the farmer of tomorrow. So just talk to us a little bit about that. You mentioned, right, the strategic accounts team is really focused on those farmers probably out of the state of Iowa. So,
yeah, not just out of the state of Iowa, but within the state of Iowa that are, first of all, most of these farmers they're forward thinking. They have a succession plan. They want to be there for the long term. They're operating sustainably, and also they're self-sufficient. That's probably the biggest key is they can do a lot of things on their own. They could live in Illinois and have a strategic account sales individual contact them, but then have the Grow Agronomy Center there for support behind the scenes.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So, Jamie, I've got another question for you. I'm really
good.
You talk. So from an agronomy perspective, you've told us a lot about what your team does, but what do you feel like the biggest thing that you provide to our growers is?
I think support. We're here to help. Like I said, whether it's within questions on invoices, questions on products, if they can't get a hold of someone, if facilities are too busy, running around, we can help provide that support, reach out to their account lead, and keep communication open.
Yeah, that would never happen though, right? Like agronomy season, everyone's very calm and stable in our locations. So I think a really big thing that we hear internally here at Landus is, you guys make really big efforts when it comes to calls, right? So making outbound calls from the GROW Solutions Center. So, Janette, when you think about your outbound calls, tell us something that, you guys are did a really big push to call all the customers. What are some things you've heard out of that, as you made those calls?
So a lot of it was the farmers we called last year, and even the farmers we're calling this year were like, thank you. I've never really talked to anybody from Landus. I do business with you, but nobody's ever reached out.
Yeah.
Which is nice, so you're getting leads, you're talking to people, just finding out ideas, just open communication, talking to them about the services we offer. And then like this year, our main focus has been anybody that's done agronomy in the last 3 years, but delivers us no grain. So opposite of what Jamie's doing. So we're doing, this. So anybody that's bought agronomy products but never grain, so we reached out to them.
Yeah.
And just told them, we're here. We'll give you, opinions. We will, you can offer different direct ship options. So, and just talking through the portal, what we can do on the portal, putting in offers, buying grain. So there's a lot of things, just talking to the customers because we haven't been.
Well, the Grow Solutions Center is definitely very focused on being virtual experts, right? So I work mostly in the field. So, I'd love to know more. I know, right, how you all work together with people like myself, but I'd love you to just tell our listeners, how does the Grow Solutions Center virtual team really work with our account leads or, our staff on the ground when it comes to, customers that might call on the Grow Solutions Center, might also be working with someone like myself.
Sure. Well, when it first started, it was phone calls out in the field or to individuals that were responsible for those accounts. Now we have our own internal CRM tool called Landus Link. And within Landus Link, any inbound call or outbound call that is made from the Grow Solutions Center, grain or agronomy, they create a ticket. The individual in the Grow Center creates a ticket with notes on what was discussed on that call. And then anyone within the field can log into Landus Link and pull up that customer name and see the tickets what was discussed. They can also notify an individual if Janet, we take a call on the agronomy side, and it needs a question for Janet. They can notify Janet through that ticket, and Janet will get a notification that she has to reach out to an individual with a specific question.
Yeah.
So Landus Link is definitely the hub for everything that we do.
Yeah, I mean, it's really kind of like, right, the center of the two teams. And, I think internally, right, like there was a lot of people nervous, myself included, right? Like, how is this virtual team going to be able to work with people, like myself? But, you guys do so much behind the scenes that really, saves people like me in our field team, right? You're reaching out to these customers that, to be honest, I don't have the time, and most of us don't have the time to reach out to everybody. And so I think it's just a great opportunity to, one, say thank you for you guys and what you all do and your teams, because I'm sure you guys get some people that pick up the phone and go, why are you calling me?
Well, and it's like when you guys are busy, it's like if we can take care of that quick question, it's about teamwork. So there's times it's like, if we can field the question, help but somebody with what an invoice is, or I can't get logged into my portal.
Yeah.
So it's those little things we can do to make everybody's job easier. So
quick product shipments, anything like that we're here to help.
For sure. I mean, our field team is, obviously during harvest, probably bringing seed out to the field or whatever it might be. So I think that's great. I also think, as we think about the team and kind of working together, there are customers that, I certainly don't reach out to every day. And so I think, just calling every customer is needed to happen for sure.
Well, and it's nice to see like we're still growing. We've added feed and carbon and data, and our new thing is going to be finance.
Oh,
so it's like there's still exciting things coming. You call one phone number and you have all these options to solve your problems.
Yeah. And I mean, goodness forbid if somebody takes vacation, you guys are really great backup as well.
Sure.
So what are some, you kind of hinted at a little one there, finance, but like what are some maybe up and fun coming projects or not fun? What are some projects that are coming up that you're, able to give our listeners a little glimpse into?
So since Janet hit on finance, I'll take that one. We are adding essentially a shared employee between the Grow Center and our finance credit department that will learn all things financing programs. When I say financing programs, anything that is related to crop input financing mainly. So that will be an expert within our teams that works with credit and also a lot with on the agronomy side for crop input financing a lot more to come about that, but that is just something the individual just started this past week. So we're just getting going, getting the individual trained.
Awesome. All right. And then, while we're here, somebody might be listening and thinking, hey, that sounds like something that I'd like to do. Are you guys looking to expand your teams? First of all, and then, what makes somebody a good fit for you? And Janet, if you want to start.
So yes, we're always looking to expand our teams. Eventually someday we're going to be in all 50 states. So We're all going to grow.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah. Thank Sylvia. Yeah. So it's, what are the criteria? So, fast paced, open to change because our industry is changing every day. And it's also too about people that are willing to learn new things because working from home, there might be days we're going to have a grain and agronomy person that knows both sides.
Yeah.
So you want somebody to be flexible enough to also be able to want to learn and grow. And you just got to be able to talk to farmers and help people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the ability to adapt quickly. We don't know what the next task we may be dealing with and have to adapt to that. Self-starter for sure. A lot of these, they're all working from home for the most part and have the ability to get up and do what you need to do and to help the company grow every day.
Yeah. So Jamie, I'd also really love you to give us a glimpse at that growers app that you gave us, a little chat about at the beginning. So, give us a glimpse. What is that? And I guess how can our farmers interact with that?
So back in around the 1st of May, we announced that we joined the Growers Retail Network. And the Growers Retail Network has, within that, they have an application on your phone or web app that is called the Growers app. And a farmer can download the app, log in, and create an account for one. And they can free type products that they would like quotes on from retailers around different areas. Landus is a part of the Growers Retail app network across mainly the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
So any farmer that requests any product they want, it can be chemicals, seed, some fertilizer, whatever they would like to request, will come to us and other retailers as well, but hopefully mainly us for quotes on products. It is not a marketplace in the sense that you see the pricing. You have to request the quotes for specific pricing. Then we quote the product back, and the transaction can all be done then online at the end of the transaction. And we will ship the product directly to the farmer, no matter where they're at. We don't necessarily have to have brick and mortar. We can ship from different warehouses that we have. So
interesting. And I think, right, like the big point about the Landus GROW Solutions Center is truly the farmer of tomorrow, right? I think about my generation, the people that are, younger than me, even that are farming and coming back to their family farms. Like, my husband doesn't want to go and meet with somebody, right? And he surely doesn't really want somebody to come onto the farm because he doesn't love confrontation. And honestly, like, most of the farmers of tomorrow don't have their time to be wasted.
Right.
So, like, what an excellent tool for these customers to be able to say, hey, I need this agronomy product. What are my price options?
And we had the ability, we had a quote come in the other night, 7 or 8 o'clock. We get an email. We had to request or price the product. And then we will find out if we get the sale or not at another time. But we also get contact information where we can reach out to that farmer.
Okay.
So there can be some one-on-one conversations if we have questions and things like that. So far it's off to a decent start. We marketed across the Midwest, and we've had just under 100 downloads of the app that's tied to us. So far it's maybe a little slower than we'd hoped, but it's also planting season, and people aren't in front of their computers all the time.
Well, and I think it's just a new concept. So, I think that's awesome. I am excited to hear how that grows because I think that's something, if I were farming full time, I'd be interested in.
Mm-hmm. Makes it simple.
It does, yeah.
Instead of calling 10 people to get 10 quotes, you can put something out there and people are going to bid on it, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I think really, like, time is money, right? And you all really help with saving the farmer time. Well, we're kind of just wrapping up here. But Janet, I want to definitely make sure that we touch on, what are some huge accomplishments you feel like your team has reached this year?
Huge accomplishment. So last year when we contacted all grain accounts, that was 3,700 customers that we talked to.
That's crazy. Over your team of, at that time it wasn't even your 11 or 12.
No, it was 8.
Yeah.
So it was a lot to get done, but you feel good because there's a lot of customers you'd never talked to before, and they were very appreciative that somebody reached out to them. So that's huge. And today we're at 95% of our agronomy customers being contacted, so we've gotten a lot of good feedback on that, which is nice. You're here to help people. So those are just accomplishments, and our team continues to grow. So that's what's nice.
I think it's exciting to see that people are wanting to join your team in Landus, right? It's been a really fun and, as you said, fast-paced, changing environment. But I think you two would probably agree with me that it's fun when no day is the same.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Well, anything you guys want to add before we go ahead and wrap up?
I don't think so.
Thank you, Ashley. It's been fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tell everybody the number to call, right, if they have questions.
515-800-GROW.
All right. Well, Jamie and Jada, I want to thank you for, just taking the time to chat with us today. And thank you to our listeners for listening in. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss a grain or agronomy podcast and you get them all right to your phone.